My fellow ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, welcome back to my podcast, my monologue podcast on Ntsa Kenya. Let me repeat. This is part 4. Part 4. I did part 3 yesterday. Wakenya wenzangu, nilifanya part 3 yesterday. That was on Saturday. And today on Sunday. Today is Sunday. You have exactly heard what the presidential escort made this morning. I said well on part 3 that Mr. National Kendowa, there are certain things that should be in place. There are certain conditions that should be in place before we start reinforcing the law. But lakini Mkenya, a Kenyan, a black man, you don't want to listen. Anything that you introduce in Kenya government is driven by your own psychological ego. I said about presidential escort just yesterday on Saturday. I talked about that highways in Kenya, there are no shoulder. There is no shoulder where a driver, he can pull over to pave way for presidential escort. Okay? Today, on Sunday, this morning, presidential escort, they were on the road. Okay? They were on the road. And according to me, when I looked on the picture of that wreck of the car, of the truck, or that piece of junk, the truck was a piece of junk. It had head-on collision. That piece of junk had head-on collision. You know why that they had head-on collision? It's because there is no shoulder road on the left and there was no shoulder road on the right. And this presidential escort, they have a tendency, raising the siren and overspeeding. Number 2, overspeeding and trying to bypass on a wrong side. That is what happens. Yesterday I said we should have a shoulder road where the civilians, we shall pull over to pave way for what? For presidential. I'm not a prophet. Kenyans, you have a tendency of prophecies. Okay? I'm not a prophet. But I'm using logic and reasoning. I'm using just a simple logic and the education that I have in my box. My words, the words I just said, described yesterday, got fulfilled today. I said there should be first shoulder pull over. So if there is ambulance coming behind me, I will pull over to the shoulder. And I will pave way for the ambulance or presidential escort. You see, the presidential escort, I presume that you listened to my video. I know you are telling me you didn't watch it. I know, that's what you're gonna say. Mr. National Kondoiwa, this is exactly what I've been highlighting about this country, Kenya. You copy from developed countries. You try to implement things that can't work in this black Africa. Mwafrika doesn't reason. Mwafrika doesn't have time to think. A black man, kama mweusi wewe, kama mimi, you don't think when you are trying to reinforce the law. I said there should be conditions that should be looked into before starting to reinforce the laws. You are just rushing to make money. Kenya government. The Kenya government. Kenya belongs to me, it belongs to you. That is an unnecessary accident that was caused this morning. That kind of accident shouldn't happen. Actually, those people, whoever was driving those trucks, those SUVs, should be taken to court. How do you violate the same law that you are trying to reinforce? Kenya government, here is my question. I talked about this yesterday. Why would you violate the same law you are trying to reinforce? My people, Kenya government, let me repeat. Please, Kenyans, join me. Why is the Kenya government trying to reinforce the law which they are breaking? Why? Why overspeeding? One time you pushed me out of the road to the ditch, that get off the road. I refused. I didn't. So Kenya government, why would you violate the same law that you are trying to reinforce to the Kenyan public? That is a very good question. Where are we headed? Where is Kenya headed? Kenya government, I'm asking you, Mr. Nation Kendowa, I'm asking you a question. Where are you headed? The same law you are trying to reinforce on us, okay? You are the same fucking people violating that law. Come on. I've kept on saying, use common sense. Tumia common sense, bwana. Why would you try to reinforce the law and at the same time you violate that law? Mwafrika mweusi kama mimi. Black African Kenyan. Be smart, man. We could do better than that. Since 1960s, when these roads were constructed, okay? No government agents on transportation that can come up with a better suggestion. You cannot reinforce the law without checking on these conditions, necessary conditions that should be in place. So the government of Kenya, why are you doing that? You are above the law, right? Oh yeah, you are above the law. Where are you rushing to? Where were you rushing to? To church? You were rushing to these religious organizations in Kenya? Endangering the lives of Kenyans, innocent Kenyans. Innocent. You can imagine somebody who is driving a presidential escort SUV, and then you try to overtake a zone that you are not supposed to. Why don't you first observe? Why would you do that? Whoever caused that accident, actually, I suggest it should be taken to court. The same law you are trying to reinforce is the same law you break. Come on now, the government of Kenya. Kenya government. What the hell are you doing? We should do better than that. Kenya government, you should do better than that, man. Whoever was overtaking, if there was a shoulder road on the left-hand side, the person who was on the way of the presidential escort, he would have pulled over there. Or the other side, on the right-hand side, if there was a shoulder road, that USV wouldn't have head-on collision. He would have pulled on that side. But there's no shoulder road. No service road on the side. Right? Where are we headed? Where are we headed? I'm giving you, Kenya government, I'm giving you this information for free. You are not paying me. You are paying National Kendowa with a big truck. Okay? Those are the people working in the NTSA. They get paid by the Kenya government. But they seem not to know anything. They don't know anything. What happened this morning shouldn't have happened at all. What happened today, Sunday, on the presidential escort shouldn't happen. And those people should be taken to jail and have their license. Their license should be revoked. Their license should be revoked. They are not above the law. You see, this is exactly what happened somewhere last year. Somewhere last year, another fucking human being was driving on the opposite direction of the road. Okay? This man was taken to court. He was a driver of one of the MPs in Kenya. The same fucking human beings violating the traffic laws in Kenya. Come on now, tell me. You are a member of parliament, okay? A member of parliament. You are telling your driver to drive on the wrong side of the road. What the fuck are you doing, man? As a member of parliament. For real. And then, here the member of parliament, you assumed and you said is the driver who was driving. Come on, man. Come on. The same fucking people who are reinforcing the law, and they are the first one to break the law. That is how it's working in Africa. Kenya. Black man. Get serious with the job. Get serious with the job. Okay? Here this man was summoned to the court. This is what happened. He was fined 100,000. 100,000. And the same member of parliament, I'm sure, is the one who paid that fine. The same fucking man was behind the wheel, driving. I got mad. That same man, he was behind the wheel, driving. This is what the court of Kenya should have done. He should have had his license revoked for 12 months. And this man should have gone to class. And each session maybe for 55 weeks. Each session is paying money to have his license back. He didn't work on it. The same man, he left the court, again, he is behind the wheel, driving. Kenya government, here is my question. That man, he should have gone, he should have had his license revoked. and go to school for 12 months and be under probation for another 12 months, and at the same time paying a fine every month for another 12 months to get his license back. Kenya government, we are dealing with the brains of Kenyans. We are not interested, even if he was fined 1 million. That member of parliament, he would have paid that 1 million. But this fucking driver didn't learn any lesson. And even the rest of the Kenyans, they didn't learn anything from this man. He never had his license revoked. He never. He continued to driving. I swear, this country, Kenya, is the worst country on the government side. The government trying to reinforce the laws. The government, at the same time, they are the first to break that law. Come on now. You are trying to tell us, don't overspeed. Mr. Kendowa, Mr. Nation Kendowa, you said you are installing cameras everywhere to deter people from overspeeding. Come on. So, what happened this morning? On the government side, what happened? How do you reinforce the law and at the same time you are the people who are breaking that same law? Come on, man. Kenya. Hypocrites. Yani wa Kenya, hypocrites everywhere. Church, hypocrites. Okay? When it comes to reinforce the law, hypocrites. Everybody's doing his own thing. Mr. Nation Kendowa, deal with the brains of Kenyans. And there are so many ways you can deal with the brains. And the people of Kenya will follow suit immediately. Let me speak about citation payment. Citations in Kenya. Let me repeat this one again.